Oh, yeah. What I did today, I from here, Middle Tennessee, Geographical Center or something. I'm supposed to be working on the engine over there, getting it started. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. But as you can see, I done already made 3 sets of 4 of these bolt hole spacers. Small bolt in a big hole. That way, center your bolt back up in there. Big washer. Everything will be all right then. What I did today, aluminum. .42 inches long. That's about 4 inches tall, about 3 inches crossways. That's some straight grain with a couple little knot holes here and there for character. I put a little stain, some urethane on them. Knock the all corners of the ends off, true them up to a square crossways. Drill some holes in them. I'm going to take one of them welding cart kits that I've been talking about here on the channel. I'll weld up something there out of one of them kits. Fit right on the bottom of them 2 rails right there, 42 inches long. That makes for a good size for a 3 horsepower engine, somewhere in that range. That's what I'm going to do today. Well, I'll tell you about that engine right there. I think it's a 1923. McCormick. It's a McCormick Deering Type M 1 1/2 horsepower with a Bosch magneto on it. Rust-Oleum 100 green paint, 3 coats with a brush, skids with a stain, simple 2x4s. We're at the lumber yard, lumber store. Stain and polyurethane on. One of them shop built carts right there. Metal finished with a really, really heavy clear coat on them. Just clear enamel. 100 green on the wheels. I'm not going to start this engine up. It's got all new parts in it. New gas tank, new oiler. It's never had gas in it, never had fuel in it. Everything checks out. Got spark. Fuel pump worked on the bench test. So, I'm going to work on something else. I'm here in Middle Tennessee, Geographical Center something. Shop dog sound. Now y'all leave a comment. Pass it on to a friend. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe even. Just saying. old country boy out. You know. A comment on my channel page here on the YouTube. Comment was question, did I listen to the radio here in the shop? And most days I have most days the TV's on actually. I don't listen to it. Most of the time it's just muted. If it's a warm day of any sunlight, whatever, big doors open, and probably the radio be on. You know, some Chris Stapleton. Well, soundtracked from Miss Opry performance when Loretta Lynn done already passed away. They done some kind of tribute to her. Been listening to that soundtrack. If I'd recommend a song for anybody, you know, like just go ahead and subscribe to the channel before you go. But that Van Leer Rose, Jack White's done already sung it in tribute to Loretta Lynn. Van Leer Rose. Yeah. It's worth listening to. Amazing Grace, another selection for today. I usually don't do much talking on my videos. Y'all know that. But a few people do watch my videos. A few people do, and I appreciate that from the heart. You know, it's like cool that somebody else take time, pay attention to what you're doing. But you know, go ahead and pause the video, listen to that Van Leer Rose. You know, Jack White version. It's pretty cool. I'm just saying, let's get on with this metal working here now. It's a Grizzly. It's a G9972Z. I bought it new. I'll tell you that story about that. Some years past, I'd saved up a couple of dollars. I think it was that year I hauled propane in the wintertime. I had an extra job, and I saved up some money and to enough to buy this grizzly-lathe. And I had some lathes at the time that I had traded for, you know, a Logan, I think, 2 or 3 Craftsmans, maybe several of them. And I didn't want to restore no lathe or nothing like that. I wanted one to plug it in over in the wall and squirt some oil on it and go ahead and make a part or two. So I'm seeing these ads back in the day in the catalogs. You could buy you one mail order. So they had several sizes, and I knowed what size working area I had, and I knowed what size my jobs would be. This is what I settled on. Got in a truck, and I drove from where I lived at the time. I drove to Springfield. I think that's Springfield, Missouri, I believe is where that store is at. I drove up there, went in the store and looked at these lathes in person to compare the size and the capabilities, and the price range was quite important. So this was the one I decided on, but I wasn't sure. Went back home. I didn't buy a lathe that day. Went back home and I studied on lathes for a while, you know. So I called them up on the phone and ordered this thing, and they sent it to me on a freight truck. Brought it close to my house. I had to go pick it up, but I managed to get it onto the workbench and plugged it in. And fast forward to today, little project there. I needed 4 spacers for an engine. It's a Grizzly G9972Z. I'm not sure they make this model anymore, but there is a couple of things that I would like to have. The capability of a lower RPM. This machine is just exactly like I bought it, and I've used it many hours, and early on I used it a lot. But let's get on with it. Okay, I'll part them off. About a 1/2 inch long. Need 4. The irony of it, I suspect, if there is one, would be these 4 items here. 3 sets of 4 are spacers for a bolt that is smaller than the hole. Use them spacers in there to center the bolt in the hole. once installed, they will never be seen again. No one will know they're in there. The irony of it is, should I have just sawed off a length of pipe and shoved it in there? Should I have